to the Healing Streams Reflection. The title for today's post is Seeking God's Wisdom and Direction. Seeking God's Wisdom and Direction. Beloved, in this 365 opportunity that God has given us in 2026, every day is a new opportunity, and there are some things we should do 365 times this year. I want to mention the second of them to you, and that is seeking God's wisdom and direction. Beloved, indeed, we also need to seek God's wisdom and direction. Psalm 90 verse 12 says, "Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." Psalm 90, which was written by Moses, begins by reminding us of the eternal and endless duration of God's existence. Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. Psalm 90 verses. Beloved, Moses then contrasts God's eternal nature with the brevity of our lives on earth, reminding us in Psalm 90 verse 10, the days of our lives are 70 years, and if by reason of strength they are 80 years, we are soon cut off and we fly away. We mortal men and women need to ask our everlasting God to give us the wisdom we need to fulfill his purposes for us during our fleeting days on earth. We need to count our days, all 365 of them, in order to make the count. We need to let the Lord give us a heart of wisdom. James chapter 1 verse 5 says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him." Let me ask you, when was the last time you specifically prayed for wisdom to manage the day's demands, to resolve a difficult issue, to make a wise decision? What if we take James chapter 1 verse 5 seriously as a regular prayer for the next 365 morning? We can vary the wording to our prayers. We can vary the wording so our prayers don't become pedantic. But asking God for wisdom is asking for something he has plainly promised. Beloved, we also need to seek God's direction for all 365 days this year. Jeremiah 33 verse 3 says, "Call to me, and I'll answer you and show you great and mighty things which you do not know." Korea Tin Bloom. Call Jeremiah 33 verse 3, God's private telephone number, one we can call day or night because we never slumbers or sleeps. We are very limited in plotting our future plans. We are like the Israelites in Joshua chapter 3 verse 4. We have not passed this way before. We don't know the future, and we have to rely on God's direction and guidance. Elizabeth Frere is remembered as the angel of prisons because of her insistent efforts at prison reform in 19th century England. She was the driving force behind laws making prisons more humane, and her likeness adorned the Bank of England's £5 note from 202 to 217. Behind her reformist zeal was an abiding desire to wake up every morning to serve the Lord. Before she passed away at age 65, she affirmed that she had never awakened from sleep, whether in sickness or in health, without her first waking thought being how she might best serve the Lord. How wonderful to know God has already planned each day of our lives. As Psalm number 139 verse 16 tells us, in the year ahead. That's why it is essential to stay connected to the one who knows the future. The great South African pastor Andrew Murray wrote, "A day, just one day only, but still a day even to abide and grow up in Jesus Christ. Whether it be a day of health or sickness, joy or sorrow, rest or work, of struggle or victory, keep thought with which you receive it in the morning. Thanksgiving, because a day that the Father gave, in it I must become more closely connected to Jesus. As the Father asks, trust me just for this day, this one day, you cannot but give the joyful response, I will trust and not be afraid. Dietrich Bonhoeffer said, every new morning is a new beginning to our life. Let's be opportunistic this year. Let's face the coming 12 months with a resolve to make each of our 365 days an opportunity to grow in our faith, seek His will, seek His wisdom and His direction. Thanks for listening. May the good Lord richly bless you.